Hey there, fellow devs. Welcome to Pixel Developer. In our latest Android project, using some of the coolest tools in the modern Android dev stack, Jetpack Compose, Ktor, Hilt, and Data Store, all bundled together with the MVVM architecture. So imagine this. You're building an app that has login functionality, fetches user details, and even displays a list of quotes, all powered by real APIs from dummyjson.com. You want the architecture to be clean, scalable, and modern. That's exactly what we've built here. Technologies we used: Jetpack Compose for the modern UI, MVVM because separation of concerns is king, Hilt for dependency injection, goodbye boilerplate, Ktor client for making network calls, Data Store for storing user session token locally. Now, let me walk you through exactly how this all comes together. Okay, first things first. We set up Hilt, our dependency injection framework of choice. It lets us manage our objects, like network clients, repositories, and use cases without passing them around manually like hot potatoes. Next up, we needed to set up our networking layer. Enter Ktor client. This is where we configure our HTTP client, set up timeouts, logging interceptors, and everything else you'd expect from a solid network module. We used Hilt to provide both the HTTP client and the API service. Our client is powered by OKHTTP with a 30-second timeout, and it's fully loaded with useful features. A base URL is set automatically so we don't repeat it in every API call. Logging is enabled with a custom logger that prints all network activity right into Logcat. Super handy for debugging. We've added content negotiation with JSON parsing, which is flexible enough to handle unknown or optional fields. We use an HTTP response validator to neatly catch and log errors like 4xx, 5xx, or network exceptions, so your app doesn't just crash blindly. And finally, we observe every HTTP response to track status codes in real time. Basically, this sets up a robust, developer-friendly Ktor client that's perfect for real-world apps. Now that our network layer is ready, it's time to connect with the actual APIs from dummyjson.com, including Login API for user authentication, User Details API to fetch profile info, Quotes API to display inspirational quotes. We've already created the data models matching each API response, so that part's done. Next, we define these API calls in our API service interface using Ktor and inject it using Hilt. Here's how each function works. Login user sends a post request with login credentials and returns the parsed response. Get user profile makes a GET request to auth/me with a bearer token in the headers. Get quote list performs a simple GET to fetch all quotes. Thanks to Ktor's DSL and .body, all responses are automatically converted into Kotlin objects, clean, efficient, and easy to manage. Now, next we have interface login repository and login repository impl. These functions expose reactive flows that emit the login and user profile states, loading, success, or error, wrapped in a custom UI state wrapper. The login repository. Impl handles actual API communication and wraps the results in UI state to update the UI reactively. Login user makes a login API call, emits loading, then success or error based on the result. Get user profile reads the stored access token from Data Store, calls the user profile API, and handles unauthorized errors gracefully by emitting a special token expired state. Both flows run on dispatchers.io for proper background threading. This keeps our business logic clean, testable, and responsive, while keeping the UI layer completely reactive. We have also inject Data Store Manager. Data Store Manager is a singleton class injected using Hilt that handles saving, reading, and deleting the user's login response, including access token, in Data Store. It's used in login repository impl to persist the login session after a successful login and to retrieve the token for authorized API calls. It also allows updating parts of the saved data, like refreshing just the token if needed, keeping session management simple and centralized. Login View Model acts as the bridge between the UI and data layers, managing user login, profile, and quotes using Stateflow for real-time updates. It exposes 3 states: login state, user state, and quote state, each wrapped in a UI state to handle loading, success, or error in the UI. On app start, it automatically fetches quotes and exposes functions like do-login and load user profile to be triggered from the UI. All operations run in view model scope and collect data from their respective repositories, keeping the logic clean, reactive, and lifecycle aware. Login screen observes login state from the view model, displays a form, and calls do-login when credentials are submitted. It shows a loading spinner during login, saves the data on success, and navigates to the user details screen afterward. Errors appear as messages, with launched effect ensuring navigation happens only once after successful login and data save. After a successful login, the user lands on this screen where their profile info and a list of quotes are loaded using view model state. It handles loading, success, and error states for both user details and quotes, displaying them dynamically using lazy column. A logout button clears the session and triggers on logout, and expired tokens automatically log the user out with proper feedback. We've walked through setting up a complete Android project using clean architecture, MVVM, and dependency injection with Hilt, all structured in a way that's clean, scalable, and easy to maintain. You also saw how we plugged in Ktor for handling network requests, and how easily you can adapt this structure into any of your own projects. From layer separation to dependency management and API integration, everything is now ready for production-level development or your next side project.
All right, that's a wrap for this video. I hope you found it helpful. The complete source code is available on GitHub. You can find the link in the description below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and comment your thoughts or any questions you have. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. And hey, follow us on Instagram for more updates, behind-the-scenes content, and coding tips. Thanks for watching. Keep coding, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy coding.